Welcome back. Exciting. It's been a while. It's been quite a while. A lot of things that I've been working on that I took a break from because I was having issues, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I'm gonna work on Minecraft today, and it was working, and I don't know why. I don't know what exactly was wrong in the first place, if it fixed itself without needing an update. I digress. It's back. I'm able to play again. I'm happy. A lot of things have changed. Obviously, I'm running on a newer version. You can see the leaves coming down. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, I think we just reminisce about the past. If you guys watch the previous videos, or videos, there's a series, Minecraft server building, and that's what this is. I say server building as in it's a design for multiplayer. Technically not server building because it's single player, but it is completely portable over to a multiplayer, and as far as I've used it in the past, completely compatible with multiplayer. Unfortunately, it looks like a lot of MBT stuff has changed, so I can't like downgrade to one of the classic versions. Anyways, this video is going to have a little bit more technicals, mainly because I've talked about the game's mechanics a little bit before, but I want to show off a lot of cool stuff that I'm hoping that everyone will appreciate. So, if I remember correctly, we went to the help center, and just a little side note here, if you're wondering why everything seems so bright, it's because of night vision. Building with night vision on allows me to completely see the blocks and such, and then I just can turn it off and visibly watch how it looks after the fact. So not really anything's changed so much. This area has changed slightly. I haven't really come back to this mainly because I don't know what to do to continue how I'm going to build this. I have the stone. I'm thinking about changing the pillars. I tried orange. It worked, but it didn't. You can see like the orange there. So it's trial and error going on in the decor here. But I've changed the rank system. I've removed several ranks. I've added a few ranks here and there. I didn't add any ranks. I removed ranks and renamed ranks. There we go. So which side is this? What I want to start? Yeah, so the member, that's still here. That was pretty much simply put, you played for 10 days or something real simple. It's just pretty much it's divulging that you are a part of the server. You're representing the server. Contributor, that's pretty much content creators like myself, with either just sharing it on whatever social media platform, or just sharing with others and bringing friends along. You can earn contributor in a handful of different ways. You have the midnight contributor, and that one's more of a legendary status contributor, and that one is obviously a higher requirements or preferred requirements, but it's not that difficult, honestly. Mainly because you have to beat me, and I only have less than 100, so there you go. Game helper. Now this used to be guest admin and a handful of other things. It's all been converged into game helper. Game helper is pretty much somebody that's understands mechanics and either is help building the games, and that's the game helpers, and then you have the guest admins, which were more or less the people who are beta testing. So all the like beta testers, people helping with the mechanics, people help fine-tuning the balances. That's all of that is wrapped up in game helper. Staff and staff apprentice. The staff is obviously the same. There's nothing new in those changes, but staff apprentice is a change from how it was assistant, or I think it was. I changed it over to apprentice because I felt that was a more game appropriate type terminology. VIP, it's still here. Platinum, it's still here. Midnighter, it's changed in the look a little bit, but it's still here. And then I went ahead and went through, as you can tell, there's a lot different here. I miscalculated some blocks, so this would have been finished, but I'm keeping all of this for my wall of blocks. But all the game helps that used to be in there, all those other things that I showed in the last video, they're now over here. And eventually they'll have all the help information about the games and all of the data relevant to the games, such as like bosses that have, I'll add like a boss description, or if there's a type of mechanic that is very unique to the game, it will be there. And it will be broke down a little bit more in explanation. And this one is perfect segue. So let me go like this. And we're over here now. I don't know how that's going to look in edit, but I'm going to be satisfied with it. So I've changed. This is the Beta Zone Arcade. I have done two changes. One, I've made it look like an arcade. Obviously, you look and those are all the cabinets, like in a classic arcade. If you look in the back right, if you know the dance boxes, the dance pads that were hooked up to bigger machines, you had two of them next to each other quite often. I have those in the back right corner, and all of them all the cabinets have games relevant. So that's the first change. Second change was there's no like stairs. And you might be thinking, oh, you're stuck down here once you're here. Well, if we push this E key here, you'll notice a jump boost. And I've calculated it out so that it's a perfect jump up. So you have that satisfying element. Now, of course, there's a small, you can get up on top of here and you'll lose the boost, so you do have to stay on the floor level. And I tried seeing if it was possible to get all the way up on there, and technically it is, but you have to be excellent at parkour and also have to get through barrier blocks because they're up there. Anyways, the arcade cabinets, very happy with. I was thinking about putting banners on all of them, but that might not be as effective of a strategy, so I only put banners on a handful. But most of these games that are actually like shown here, let me just go, it's like Pong, you have Villager Resistance, Mob Lanes, Puzzled, obviously the Recommended New Ideas is still here, Formula M, so there's a lot of the original style, TNT Incursion, Knock Knock, Gear Set PvP, Mob Sector, TNT Blitz, Sweet Berries, Found, like they're a playoff of concepts / designs from previous games that would have been in arcade cabinets, but also stuff that would be playable in Minecraft. I got back to Minified over here, worked on a little bit, had some assistance, appreciated the assistance with the builds. I went ahead and changed, like I mentioned. So there's actually a teleporter invisible in front of the fireplace. You go to cozy up and you're going to find yourself in Minified. I have added some, I think these are normal pillagers, but they could be the archer armored ones, or the crossbowmen ones. They're guardians now. That's the only thing that matters. Guardians. Now, I will say, I didn't intend for their heads to be looking up so dramatically, but they are. Got a little explorer here, and yeah. I might have to cut that out. But another teleporter here, another teleporter there, and another teleporter there. Yep, that's all of them. There's also a little, I'm not going to show I'm going to avoid showing all the secrets. Before we continue on, now that we've taken out those three things, I'm going to go over here, because there's a lot going on over here. Now, I might have shown this before, but not have. Might have been the staff building. You might have seen that back in the day. Staff gone. Staff building, staff hub, lobby, whatever you want to call it, gone. It is now down here. And the idea is going to be that would be the staff, this would be contributor, and then this would be midnight contributor. That's the idea in theory. We'll see how it goes in practice. These are barrier blocks in case you're wondering what's popping up. I'll just do that. It's gone again. A dog has entered the game zone. So yeah, I've been slowly reworking on command blocks. You will notice that I'm using a completely different sign structure than any of my command block systems before. These are all, this entire level is dedicated to the hub and designing, and like, so that jump boost in the beta zone, for example, the speed pads that are there from before, all the teleports that go to the secondary or the per game hubs, or they're all these teleports right here. There is a fun teleport that let me show you in a bit. Small changes, just using some new blocks here. We have that. That's slightly different than before. It's a little bit better colorized, and I approve of it. Yeah. What's over here? This area. I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to show too much. I want people to enjoy this themselves. Those signs are not at the same angle. Oh well. Another teleporter at the end there, just like all the teleporters, really. This is create. I don't know if this was... No, I talked about it briefly, but I went ahead. This is a better description of what it is. As you fly through, you can see these things a little bit better. Teleporter, mob zone, or mob zone. Sorry, got ahead of myself there. Last mob standing. Still here, still standing. Thank you. I'm here all day. Continuing, though, I didn't change too much with these. I changed the orientation of a few, rotated them a bit, moved some, specifically the steves that are inside the mine shaft. I rearranged some blocks so that it was easier to see the netherite castle. I think that's the right term. The Iron Golem figurine here. I'm going to call it a figurine. That's actually not a bad description. The figurine I've enlarged to give it that perspective of size, so it's scaled up slightly. I think I did so with the Enderman. I'm trying to remember. I think the spider I slightly scaled down. But again, you have the teleporter right there. Some of them are much more obvious, and the other ones not so much. Now, this is something that took me way too long to figure out how to fix, but once it was working, it is so satisfying. Let me just... From the sky. Oh, it's so satisfying. So all these mobs, there we go, have no AI. There's no AI. So they're auto-turning via command blocks. Using command blocks to turn them, you can see the chunkiness there and there. However, because of how these actually work, how I got the command blocks were... I was struggling with them. But because of how they work, the more players, the more these guys will not freak out like they did when I first designed it, but they will actually... So, like, it's related to how close the player is. So the closest player will receive the mobs staring at him. Now, I don't think there's too much of a scaling difference here. Maybe a little bit. All these mobs look bigger than me. Why is that? Am I scaled down / attribute? No, it says I'm full-sized. I'm a full-sized player. Anyways. You got to see a lot of the chaos that I deal with. But again, you'll see these mobs, they're snapping. I guess maybe there might be a command block limitation somewhere, because the more players there are, the less snappy they seem. They're much more adept at locking. So that's a fun little bonus. If we go into the new skyscraper, which I must say is much more satisfying. Arachnophobes, I do apologize, but the secretaries are spiders. A little tiny blaze here. I say a little tiny blaze. It's not tiny, but... And then you have the piglins. The boss keep. And this is pretty much going from the idea of the zombie stuff. Now it's mob zone. I'm not gonna just have zombies. I'm gonna have a lot more going on. It's going to be much more involved, not so simple, but also at the same time still trying to keep it simple. The castle is massively different. I don't know how it looks to you guys, but I think the colors work for the most part. I do realize that little entry there is a little odd. The coloration just doesn't quite match, but I think it works. Spleef was changed. I pretty much changed everything. But this is the teleporter, so you fall in and you'll teleport to Spleef. A nice, beautiful cherry blossom tree. We have the return of miniature skies. This would be the chest games. I can't remember what the other name was. Not Hunger Games, chest games, and I think the Hungry Chests games. Hungry Chest games, something like that. Hungry Chests, maybe that's what it was. Anyways, oh, that's actually a really cool idea concept. Just gonna brainstorm it out loud for a second. But the chests, in order to open a chest, you have to give it food. Anyways, again, using the system that is before, these work a little bit different. As you can tell, their heads are pretty locked on. There is no delay, and you'll notice that with both of them. And then after a certain angle, then they readjust their body. So it's a little interesting there. I don't know what exactly is the difference that makes that. This is the new unique rank stuff. So your platinum, your VIP, your midnighter ranks are going to be featured here. As you can tell, the three colors are all locked in on the decorations here. I went and changed some things, modified some other things. So this would be like the midnighter sector, the platinum corner, the VIP corner. It's a 3-4 building, and the third floor would have your unique bonuses because you're whatever rank you are. So for example, this would be like popping up unique rank coins, and it's going to be like, for now it's just a default block system, like built that way, but hopefully if I can get mechanics to work really well, I can make this all RGB and maybe have a dance party or something while mining. I do like how this came out. It looks a lot better than it did, and that might have been because right now I'm running on night vision, but I like how the colors are combining. I hope everyone watching has an appreciation for them as well. I unintentionally saved King's Kingdom for last. I made some changes, obviously. The coloration, it's not just a flat cobblestone. I think that's what all it was before. The crown is slightly higher, changed a few small minor details to the crown. I moved a tiny crown here. I don't remember if that was on there or not. I've modified the crowns that are featured here, and because of how I modified them, I was able to come up with some new ideas that work really well, I think. I have added more horses. There's now not just King's Mighty Steed. There's also these three others. They don't have any names. Now, I'm 50-50 on how in the world those villagers work. They don't work exactly how I want them to, but that's okay. All right. For the main event, we have my beautiful pre-build right here. I love it. I love how it came together. It was a little tedious at first because I was struggling with my mind how I could get the idea of what I wanted to do from my head to here, but I think I got it. Simply put, we have got a lot of half slabs to just give this dimension feeling that it's not, there's no drops, right? There's no full block drops. It's all half slabs. The water is half slabs. The mountain terrain is half slabs. The trenches are half slabs. You'll notice I can't jump on top of that. I don't know why I can't. Oh, that's right. My apologies. There's barrier blocks on top of all those. You might be wondering why, but it's to prevent them from growing. You have these flags representing different outposts, and it's a better description of what King's Kingdom is versus what it was before. I really enjoy making these small figurines. I enjoyed making the figurines back when all you could do is turn them into small mode for those old Minecraft back-end knowledge. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But for the most part, but these are actually full Steves, or full armor stands scaled down. And the way they look, along with everything, it just is satisfying. I can't get over how I feel it looks clean. Is it the best? No. I mean, I probably could do a lot better with some of the new bushes that just got added. But overall, I like this a lot more than how the other one was turning out, and I think it works. The map over here, and that's the teleport box right there. So you look at the map, you teleport. I don't have it based off of like where you're looking. It's just you literally walk on top of that, you'll teleport. The kings are back to their thrones, a little bit better looking thrones, I feel. You may notice the banner is missing, but not over there. Technical difficulties made errors, and when I was building this wall here, when I was building all of this specifically, I accidentally took out this wall with a command twice, maybe even 3 times. So that's why the banner's gone still. But overall, I hope looking at all this is quite mesmerizing. I feel that I've accomplished a lot, and I'm glad that like my Minecraft's not stuttering, because it was frustrating to play there for a while, but it's all back now. I don't know why, but there's a lot I'm hoping to improve upon, the maps themselves. So I just wanted to do this video just to return the Minecraft again. But I have been building, as you can tell, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different changes, small minor things. That little fun Easter egg thing is related to these pigs. So overall, I think this has turned out much better than how it was visually. A lot of the mechanics I've even started working on again, now the command blocks, and I'm using data packs hopefully in the future after I get the data packs all sorted out, or not data packs, sorry, command blocks sorted out. So I hope, my plan is to get 3 games working and then do a video per game after it's fully functioning. That includes the map, the game time, lobby time, match time, multiple players being able to play it, that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that will all come together and it will look nice. Anyways, well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Things to Build with Minecraft. I do hope that some of these builds you may have seen in the background or perhaps in the foreground inspire and make creative thoughts. Take care.